Welcome everyone. It is March 10th, 2023, and let's get into today. So we had non-farm payrolls at 8:30 EST, which created a little bit of volatility. Not as much as I thought would happen right away, but a little bit of short covering, and then it kind of was starting to roll over just before the market opened. So this is the daily. We're currently, like I said, in the contract roll. So this is the March chart. The June chart is slightly different. The continuous chart has switched over. So I'll probably use the March contract still next week, at least for a couple days, and then I'll start switching my levels and stuff over and make sure they're all right. So last night was mostly a sell night, but basically we tested the 200-day moving average recently, failed to get above it and stay above it, put in some lower highs, and then we finally basically broke down, losing an important level on the monthly, coming back up, and then putting in another lower high, and now we're down here again. So where we go from here, I'm not sure, but as long as we kind of are holding around this area, it's probably worth it to try some longs. I think we should see a little relief next week, maybe back up into here, and then a rollover is kind of what I'm thinking. I wouldn't mind seeing retests of in there, kind of confirm the bearishness basically, right? We got kind of a downtrend here, so another test there and then lower, and maybe we can come back to where we were in November basically. I do think we're heading lower. The market's been, like I say, I don't follow a lot of the news cycles or anything, just little snippets that I hear. And I could definitely see us coming lower, but who knows? Like I said, for me, it doesn't really matter. I play upside and downside usually both times in a day. I don't really care. So anyways, let's get into the charts with the levels. Let's do the 5-minute and the overnight session. So overnight, we had a nice little easy short, which I called out in the chat, short 990, right? I didn't have this level here. I put this here overnight. It probably should have actually been 980, but 990 still pretty good. We basically rolled over, and I was looking for 925 to come, hit it, target hit, and then I did reshort it in here, but I was looking for 840 and ended up getting stopped out while I was sleeping for minus 10 points, which is fine because this was 70 points from here, so not a big deal. Basically double bottomed overnight, which is good. So buyers were really stepping in at 925. It continues to be an important level. London got us a little bit further up, and then we started getting closes above 990, and this is NFP, came back down really close to 925, and then whipped all the way back up, but failed to take out these highs here or get over 45. I would have loved it to actually come up for 45 for this short after all of this recent action in here. Seems like a no-brainer, but that's as close as we could get. So, not bad. Let's go into the regular chart. Let's do the 1 minute for now. So, at the open, we had a nice clean play. There's this little trend line. It kind of was tricky at first. Oh, no, maybe I was on the overnight chart. Anyways, basically opened, tested 990. Could have tried long there versus that recent low. got the pop into 20. Or you could have tried the long. Yeah, it actually should have been 880. 880 would have been better than 990. That's what I was thinking. So yeah, you could have got long on yesterday's low, got a quick 40, and I was looking for the short at 20, and it came short into 20, broke to 80 immediately, and then sold very, very close to kind of where I was looking. Kind of got the 945 turnaround. And again, resistance, 990, 980. Sell, made the higher low. Came up here for the lower high. And then if things are going to be bearish, we would have come down and broke this. We ended up holding, reclaiming the 925. And then that's kind of triggered the shorts, right? There's a little bit of a downtrend line that breaks here. Kind of like so. Clears that. And then you get some squeeze as stops are above here and here. Probably somewhere a little bit above here because whoever was maybe short from here is looking for the rollover and lower, right? But didn't work out for the shorts. Came back up and a little bit of consolidation between the two levels. Failed breakdown, right? So when people are waiting for a short, lots of times they're looking for maybe a bigger move, so they're looking kind of for the breakdown. So they're either shorting up here at resistance into 2020, right? So that's the opening range. And this kind of gives them a little bit of confirmation because it fails to break out and comes right back underneath. Like if buying pressure is strong, the breakout comes up, it retests, it holds above, and then it goes, right? But no, it was a failed breakout. So they're either getting short in here or they're shorting this breakdown. So when they short that breakdown, their stop is usually going to be somewhere over the most recent candle probably, right? They're basically expecting that 990 is going to break and we're going to come over and we're going to roll over. But because it broke, it kind of found support on the top of this, or if you look at it from like this perspective, it's the 0.5 fib. Bounced, reclaims, starts triggering. These guys that were short, they don't think their idea is going to work now because they were thinking rejection on 990 and down. So you can't move to break even, or it's not smart at least. And these guys that were short into this, they see the price action. Their stops maybe are above this or at break even. Comes up, pops. Shorting this, not such a good idea anymore because you've got 1, 2, 3 tests of it. Stops are probably just right above here. Clears it. Stops start triggering. Pop, 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 pop into the next resistance, which was the spot I bought yesterday at 75. So there was an obvious reaction there. On the pop yesterday, there's going to be probably an obvious reaction to the downside. As sellers will be waiting there, right? So, and then that comes back down here. To see more momentum, ideally, they'd want it to hold above. It rolls over, loses these lows, and then we go back into the downtrend, right? There's also a trend line here. If you draw the trend line, comes up, back tests, rolls, right? So people that are short in here, they're taking profit into 925. They don't know if it's going to roll. It double bottoms. It clears this. Clears that high. Gives you the breakout, which is, 40 quick points into 990. Rejects. Sells immediately. And then there's basically no bid from this. And I was thinking, about right here, I was thinking, okay, we're going to come make a new low a day. That's what I was expecting. I was short in here, not quite at 75. I should have had an order there, but I kind of missed it. So I shorted in here, I think around 57, 58, and it rolled over. And I was going to hold to here, but ES was here at 72. And I didn't know if it would have the room to go. I guess I should have anticipated that it would keep going as it broke the already low a day. So the only reason I should have closed it is if it reclaimed 86, which it did not. So that was a mistake on my part. But anyways, got the back test. This is where people are adding. If they're short in here, they're probably adding, risking to their average. And then we get a sell mode, a little bit of consolidation, bear flag, right? You look at it like closer, get that little bear flag, break, and then just no higher highs till near 800. I should have had a level there. I did call it out that I was thinking 810, 800 would be support. And on the daily, it's pretty clear where it bounced, right? Where was that? Oh, I thought I saw it. Oh, right in here. No. No, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I didn't see nothing. I did think I saw why it would bounce there. Maybe that was the 840 that it. No, that was this point initially. This 865 initially was here. That's what I was thinking of. Sorry. Anyways, got the sell. Started to get a little bit squeezed, and then down here, basically it's just oversold, and it's kind of tough to play. We got very close to 925 for a reshort, but 925 actually would have invalidated it, as it would have made higher highs. If we would have claimed 925, we probably would have got a nice squeeze into the close. I think we did actually squeeze after. I didn't look at it, but yeah. So basically, popped into 80. It's rejecting the first low a day, right? It's rejecting right in this area. If you draw like a little kind of box in here, it's rejecting in there. Sellers are waiting. Comes down, it makes the higher low. If you look on it at the 5, it doesn't look as ugly, but higher low and then grinding upwards. Shorts kind of try to step in here, making a lower high to roll over. Doesn't, pops, and then everyone's risking versus this, and then it rolls over and double bottoms basically, right? Made a lower low than this, comes up. So ideally, if we were going to go down to 750, we would have done something like this. It would have went up. Oops. It would have went up to here or here, risking probably to here, and then it would have come down like this if it was bearish, but held the double bottom, and then I think into the close it actually did squeeze a little bit. Yeah, so from the double bottom it's 100 points already, which is crazy. Yeah, so interesting day anyways. Had to be really on your toes again, as wide ranges. But basically look at the levels, going level to level. So here you did miss the lower level, but it's right around the trend change time frames. You can long, you don't need to be right at the level. You just need to know, okay, I'm going to try once for risking versus new low a day. And, you know, I would probably only hold to 925 in this circumstance, unless you're really bullish for the day or you're kind of anticipating a retest of the open. And it makes sense that it did get some buyers and short covering, as we're down quite a bit over the last week and a bit. So it does make sense. So you can try longs there. Longs at the open, like I say, 990. Could have had 980. Actually, would have probably been a better level overall. 990 did offer lower drawdown, but if you're trying to fill right at 990, you probably didn't get some of these fills. So maybe split the difference and go 985 would have been best. Anyways, like I say, there's a long possibility of the open followed by the short, you know, sticking with the downtrend, and it got a really quick, 150 point flush almost. Potential reshort into 990 for an easy 50 points to the level, and then the reclaims also offered about 30-40 points. This one you probably wouldn't have caught unless you're being quick. And then same within here, a nice test of 75 for the rollover. Possible longs on 925. You could have played the break at 990. You could have played the failed break here once it reclaims, risking versus this low, or a fixed risk is what I like to do. Again, you could have tried shorting 20 right at the hop. As it tested, you would have ended up getting, 50 points. So lots and lots of good moves. Could have reshorted 990 here. And then down here was a little tougher, right? Like I say, these levels, I probably should have had 865. And then I should have had maybe not those two levels. Is kind of what I'm thinking. Okay. So yeah, that's it for NQ. No, yes, kind of the same thing, right? Very similar pattern. I should have had a level at 30 here. Right at the end of the day close. That would have been an easy short. And I do watch these. Even if there is no level there, I do take note of these things because very easy to see. And it was a little bit weaker than NQ to start. I did try a long on ES at 54. Ended up getting stopped. I should have looked for the reclaim long because that was a nice play. A nice, almost 20 points in 10 minutes, followed by more selling. I did grab this 886 short, right? Makes a ton of sense. There's all this overhead here, resistance. Again, still in a downtrend, so shorting is favorable. And then it comes down and it makes the higher low into the close. And it also got a little bit of squeeze, right? So overall, not sure what we open in Globex. I'd like to see, honestly, that leg down to 750, 770. And then reclaiming some upside. Make a significantly lower low than this recent low. But then see some upward momentum. Maybe get a couple days of consolidation in range would be okay as well. Anyways, I think that's it for my kind of recap today. Basically, the main thoughts of my day are just being patient. So any of these moves provided ample opportunity. And even if you did get stopped a couple of times, if you were positioning yourself correctly, lots and lots of profit potential, right? Whether it be longs on reclaims, looking for the level above, long from here to here, long from here to here, long from here to here, or shorts on the breakdowns. Sure, sometimes you're going to get stopped, but, this kind of gives you that little head and shoulders feeling. And then on the break of 925, nice cascade sell for an easy 125 points with almost no bid, but you just have to be patient. So that's going to become kind of my theme for the next month or two, is just patience. Even here, I was shorting here with 2. I took a little bit off. I took 1 off into 925. And then I was going to add back here. Neglected adding back. And then just held it. And I had target initially at 840. But like I say, I took the profit. Somewhere in here, I just kind of shook myself out with this 70 here, but shouldn't have. So again, sure, it was good profits, but it's an extra $1,000 or more to get to there, and I was looking for it anyways, right? That was kind of my goal, kind of my idea. So need to stick more with ideas. They pay. Anyways, have a good night.